Okay, here we are for March.
Mm-hmm.
March, the change of seasons, hey?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the extension of seasons. I think it's more like it, isn't it? I think the seasons are shifting. I think we're getting more summer now that summer's over in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, oh, here's Jean. Good. So how are we all? We're good?
Good, good.
Good to see your faces. Always
Mm-hmm.
faces. Good to see the globe represented here. Good to see the Northern Hemisphere. We've got South Africa arriving. So, all right. Well, I like a small group because it means because we had a smaller group, we had our Saturday session on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about that.
Funny, yeah.
And it was actually good because everyone got a chance to chat and we dug into some quite deep concepts. We it seemed to when people were sharing the key concept that came out was, there was still this doubt that a lot of people carry.
Mm-hmm.
So Kat, you were there, so you know what we spoke. Weren't you there on Saturday? Huh. I'm just used to you
No.
being at every one.
Yeah, sorry. No, not this one.
So it was actually good. We spoke a lot about sort of, destroying doubt and some thoughts and ideas. So, but what I thought we might just do, because again, it is just, a handful of us, why don't we just do a quick whip around? If again, no obligation if you don't want to, but just a quick share where we're at, what's happening, and I think just what do you need right now? What do you feel
Mm-hmm.
like you need from the group? How can we as a forum help you with where you're at?
Hmm.
So, Sue, do you want to start? Because
Oh, that's just like that.
You're always good leading on.
I know. I
Kick
can't
us off
hold the
beautifully.
silence too long, can I? I've got to
No,
fill
it's
it.
good. It's
That's
always a
the
good
problem.
start.
I liked your last comment a lot. How can we support each other? Because I look at this as a writers' community. And when Glenda Mitchell's just had her book out, kicking out the bucket list, and her book, Justine's book, Whispers of Resilience, and John Maher's book, Carmen's Legacy. Justin and I write our monthly blogs, our weekly blogs. Once a month, it's a book recommendation. And we've recommended each of those three and put it on our site and sent it to them, who said, thank you so much. May I use this in my own publicity and so on, which I just love the collegiality of we're all in this, all aiming to do something that's dear to our hearts, and put out our book there, that we can in some way recognise each other's efforts
Yeah,
and work as a collegiate group. I think is fantastic.
that's awesome. Good on you, Sue.
You're welcome.
Wonderful thing to do.
And what are we up to, Justin? Do you want to come in and what are we up to in our book?
We're up to blog 116, but that's due at 9 o'clock tomorrow, and I'm writing it. I haven't written it yet.
Yes,
So I
that's
think-
Oh,
this
you've
is
got a late night, mate.
so
that's
it's one of
typical
those-
that you're late and I'm the early morning, aren't I, Justin? Yeah.
I think maybe one of the 116 dropped in the Wednesday afternoon, but the other 115 made the 9 o'clock deadline, and that's just part of the little discipline you've tried to help
Yeah.
us with, Andrew.
Yeah.
Just, well, if that's when you kind of say it goes, and that's when it goes. So it'll get written, and when
It
Sue
will.
wakes up in the morning, she'll have it there to review, and she'll give a quick review. Then we'll post it, and
Yeah.
we're not exactly sure how many read it, but that's the part of the.
Doesn't matter. You know what? And this is an important point.
Yes, it
Justin,
is.
for many, 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 many years, I've been writing my blog for, I don't know, 15 years maybe.
Wow.
I don't even know. And for so long, I thought, I don't think anyone's reading it. No one ever comments. No one ever says anything. And then all of a sudden, I started getting speaking gigs and I started getting clients. And I started asking them, how'd you find out about me? Oh, I read your blogs and I really like the one you wrote just recently really resonated with me and it prompted. And it's amazing. People aren't going to rarely will they comment, but they're reading and it's having an impact on lives. So just that's happening.
I agree, and I also I like it. Of course, it's a little uncomfortable at times when you're running out of time. Great writing practice. Once a week, you give yourself a little bit of time. You've got to spin around 400 or so words, and you've got to make it a beginning, a middle, and an end. And you've got to make it into a little bit of a narrative, and it's got to sing as best you can make it and put it out there. To me, that's in a nutshell. That's writing. And writing our book was probably an extension of that concept, because we broke it up between the two of us, of course, as co-authors, and then we apportioned chapters. But that's about as much that I would write in a day. I'd say, right, if I can get that little 400 to 600 words singing in one session at the desk, happily to move on and do the next bit tomorrow. And that builds a practice, and you start to see a little bit of an ease and flow in your writing, which I think is well worth it, whether anyone out there reads it. So that's a secondary gift, but the first one is to self, for sure.
Yeah. Cool.
I think I've had my turn, Justin. I'm
So
sorry I haven't
what do you-
yours.
What do you need from the group? Someone's coming to the room. I don't know who this is.
Mhm.
So what do you need from the group?
Oh, beg your pardon, you were speaking to me. I just thought I'd hog the floor too long. Okay,
No.
what do I need from the group? I love the fact that the group comes in and listens. I also, we're in a stage with our book process now where we're pretty much waiting for the page proofs. Is that right, Justin? So in this little space, I've been, I don't know if you've accessed your emails today, Justin, but I put out 2 or 3 book talk suggestions to people. So what would I like from this group? How do you get your book out there? Anyone got any good ideas about what sort of audiences, what sort of groups, good promotional ideas? Is that fair enough to ask for, Andrew? Is that
I think so, and I think what we'll do is we'll hold the answer to that.
Yep.
Because I think what I would like everyone to have a little say, but I will take note of that, and we will. So
Thank you.
you're asking what sort of groups and audiences to target for your talks.
Yes, thank you. And
Okay.
I'm happy for you to hold it. I love to be able to put it out there if anyone comes up with anything, including yourself, of course, Andrew. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. We'll definitely, we'll make sure we've got some time to deal with that before we finish today. So awesome.
So that
Thanks,
sort
Ed.
of supported every point of this continuum, every little step. It's great to be able to air it with the group and say someone is ahead of us, someone might be coming. When I'm using that advisedly, when I say ahead and behind, I just mean someone may have done it before.
Yep.
Someone may be coming up to this and think, oh, they did that. Let's have a go at that. And I am noting what Glenda's doing on her LinkedIn and various things like that, how she's promoting hers. And I think all of that is a great support.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's always good watching other people.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, who else wants to jump in and share a little bit where you're at and what you need from us?
I don't mind sharing.
Oh, sorry,
Oh,
Chris.
Chris, we love hearing
Oh.
from you.
Sorry. Do you want to go first?
No, you.
No,
Um,
you go.
Hello, Jean.
yeah. I mean, Andrew's encouraged me to really get back started, to be quite honest with you, and he's supporting me in that, and the ideas that you're giving me and the feedback you're giving me is invaluable. So I wanted to say thank you for that. I love these groups. I always get something from you guys. I love the energy. I love what you talk about. So, you know, all I would say is keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Awesome. Well, we feel the same way, mate. We all get something from this. Otherwise, I don't think we'd be here, would we? We wouldn't.
No.
We'd give up an hour on a Tuesday morning, Tuesday night if we weren't getting something from it.
No.
I don't think so.
Even if it is bash the pom.
Well, mate, you're gonna have to get some support. You get some more bombs on board, and you can bash the Aussies. We can all bash the South Africans shortly. Jean's far too nice.
Oi!
Hey, Jean, turn your camera on for goodness sake.
You don't want to see me today.
Yeah, we do.
We do.
Oh,
do
Now
wanna
you've made
see
it
you.
even more so. There you
Oh,
are.
look at you. You've just been
I've got-
exercising. What's that?
Paint, no, I've got paint all over my hands. I'm in Cape Town doing a woodworking job. So
That's all
yeah,
right.
different location. Fueling my creativity with something different. So my support is I'm I've sent my book out to
Yeah.
a couple of friends,
Great.
a couple of close friends. The process of sending it out, getting it back, and editing, how long do you allow? How long do you allow? Like boundaries? How strong are your boundaries in the time frame of doing that?
Oh, you're talking about sending it out to your friends and for them to get it back to you.
Yes.
Well, see, this is the problem with asking for someone
And then
for a favor.
editing.
Yeah, well, that's the problem with asking someone for a favor, isn't it? That you're not paying. They're going to do it in their time, and so look, and I don't know, and so and other people might comment here, but I'm always resistant to give my stuff to friends to read.
I tried to get someone who wasn't quite a friend. It was like someone I knew from work, sort of thing, and I offered to pay. I specifically said, like, look, I needed her to do it as a physics review. I, was really like, I want to keep this professional. Let me pay, to do this. And she insisted that I could pay her and publish books. I have still never gotten chapters back, and I've given up on that whole project. That was part of the reason I gave up on that project. It was all just becoming so incredibly hard. And I honestly think you'd be better off paying
someone
on Fiverr or something. Yeah.
Well,
just even if you got 3 people to do it off of that. But then the thing is, right, you get back it with insist on track changes. And if it's rubbish, don't worry about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, because you can still get a deadline. And if you get in power of the noise, but asking friends, and I feel bad because I've still never finished reading. It's on I've been on my computer right now, but I've still never finished Justin's book, and but it's just, things happen. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So, and then your friends feel obliged, and then they feel bad because they haven't done it and got back to you. There is, and I don't know how many of you have actually used Julie.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, so Julie's a lady that I refer people to. She will assess your manuscript, and she's independent. She's unbiased. She is reasonable. She gives very, very reasonable prices to assess a manuscript because I send her a lot of business. That would be my, and I go with what now. Please, when you hear a Cat story, don't give up. Okay.
No.
Good. So,
haven't.
Cat, there's a lot of reasons why Cat gave up, and that was not really the reason. There's a lot of other reasons, but yeah, I think and the thing with getting friends to read your stuff also is when you ask someone for their opinion, you'll get it. And the question is that an opinion that's going to help you make it the best book it can be? Is it going to help you make it more publishable, more marketable? I'm not sure.
No, possibly not.
Who's got some experience in the industry, who knows publishing, who knows marketing, who knows books. And if you've got to spend a little bit of money, as Kat said, send it out once. You'll get it back in an agreed time frame. You'll have, what Julie will send you back is a couple of pages of notes and suggestions and ideas, and it's useful and usable rather than someone's opinion.
Can I come in on that one, Andrew, and endorse what you're saying about Julie? I'll say this too. We had Julie do our manuscript assessment, and for a start, it was a professional giving feedback to us. It was our first feedback, apart from you, Andrew, which gave us an objective view, and there was a real buck up. It was a real, here's some stuff. And also, another really practical one, apart from the effect on your spirits, buoying you up, was a couple of the publishers, including the one we've gone with, Justin, Melbourne Books, said, is there anything else you want to include in your submission? And I put Julie's manuscript assessment there because we were rather proud of it. And I believe it strengthened our application. I really do. I think in reading a manuscript assessment, and another couple of them said, we regard highly if you've sought a manuscript assessment before you've submitted it, because it is if you like, a professional standard, a bar above. If you get above, and I would hope we all do, get above that professional, standard and the assessment is largely, and I believe they, encouraging, that we had some points of improvement, but encouraging, then I think it's vulnerable, but it's also courageous to submit that to the publisher and go, we got this. And we were able to address it in a couple of cases, like I think our title, Justin, was in one of them that came, and we eventually went with a different title. But so it prodded us into firming up some things. I think it weighed with the publisher, and I think it was a very good thing for our spirits as emerging and first writers to have someone in the field that, thank you, recommended by Andrew, who could give us that. And I think within a fortnight, wasn't it, Justin? It was quick turnaround.
Yeah, it's a couple of weeks.
Couple of weeks. Yeah.
So, Jen, if you're interested, just let me know and I can send you Julie's details.
Thank you so much.
I was potentially just going to add another angle as well, that I think there can be another purpose of the reason you ask friends/family to do it. And that's not necessarily for that professional reason. It's kind of more for maybe keeping your friends and family close and involved in your project.
Yeah.
And that helps them feel more special than, oh, it just arrived and suddenly come to my book launch. They've kind of been on the journey. And so I didn't necessarily want to ask my dad. I knew it was wise to. And Dad's 85. And he wrote back something like 20 pages with some things that, I thought were ridiculous and some things I loved. And so, but it was a connection. And then this just arrived to me 2 days ago. So this is a friend who was given the manuscript maybe mid-December and said, if possible, a bit after Christmas, maybe by mid-January, and it arrived 2 days ago. So it's 2 months too late. And we probably can't make too many changes, but he chose to print it out. I just sent it to him electronically. Wow. He found it. Then he's kind of got little notes here. None of it's track changes. So it's a nightmare in some ways, Kat. But, little things up here. And he then, we spent a couple of hours. He poured over each page and he feels invested in my project, which is lovely. Mm-hmm. A long-term special mate. Yeah. And so I couldn't agree more with what everyone said about the importance of using Julie and the professional. But don't, and if one or two don't get it back in time and they only give you one little chapter, and if you've got friends and family that want to be part of your journey, then embrace them too and be gentle with everyone.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, Justin. But and I think the key message there is don't rely on it as a professional piece of assessment, and don't wait. Don't sit there going, I'll wait till I get that. Keep moving forward, get professionally assessed, keep going, and then whatever you get back, if it comes in time and you can use it. But you've also got to not let it knock you off course, because I think some people will come back with advice that might be very contradictory to what you've done and what you want to do. So you've also got to be a bit careful.
Yeah. And Andrew, you made a very strong point earlier on too, that it's always subjective. Keep that in mind. And you've got a bit, obviously, with the manuscript assessor, you've got a professional training. But amongst your family and friends and colleagues, it's always subjective. And if you take it on, this is the point of view. And if the point of view gives you something, great. But there's no obligation to go, well, therefore we must change, or this is it now. And we did a bit of scattergun approach, given our project wasn't, our book has exercises for the participant, the reader, to do. And so we wanted to get some feedback for case studies. So depending on what you're particularly asking for, that request, and we did the scattergun, as I think 24 people we put it out to, I think, Justin, didn't we? And we got 12 to 14 back, which was sufficient for our case study purposes. So always probably put out more than you think you're going to get back, and be very specific on directing your reader. I'm looking for this, not necessarily a full book appraisal, which is beyond most people's abilities or interests. To come back with what your friend David, Justin, did is, exceptional. I don't think we got anyone else except your father, who again is exceptional, who went through page by page and gave us opinion on everything.
Yep, awesome. Good. All right, I hope that helps you, Jean. What a group. What a super group. Okay, anyone else want to? I know, Chris McLeod, I don't know if you want to sort of give us a bit of an update where you're at and if there's anything we can do for you at this stage.
Yeah, look, that's a good question, and I've been thinking about it. I don't know what I'm looking for from the group, but I keep coming back
Yeah.
because I grab a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I was looking for it, but I found it. It was on offer. So I can't answer that question. I don't have any specific reason why I come. I just know I'm going to learn from people who are further progressed than I have. And to be honest, I haven't done anything for yonks, so I'm not very far through my book.
But it doesn't matter. And I love the fact you come back because it's key to success.
Yep.
One of the keys to success is just showing up. And because if you keep showing up, eventually you're going to do something, right? Or are you going to stop showing up? So I think that's awesome, mate. Good on you. Good on you. Anyone? I don't know if you want to say anything more than you said about where you're at, or
yeah, I mean,
you're just absorbing.
I'm also an
observation,
observer. I'm also in
observing.
sponge mode. Yeah. You can't have a solution if you don't have a problem, and I mean, it's just a proven fact. You can show someone a better way, and if they don't think of their current way as problematic, they just won't see it as a better way. And right now, I'm not actively working on a writing project because I don't know what it is. So I'm here because yes, I get stuff and I enjoy it, and
yeah, good.
Time will come. So
awesome.
We're here to just scare Jean mostly and just tell her the horror. No, I'm kidding.
You also give so much stuff, everyone I've ever to, you pop something in the chat, and that's always meaningful and helpful, from whether it's BT or ideas about that, and offering and supportive and so on. So you certainly are a very supportive team member.
Oh, well, thank you.
For sure.
And may I say, you also wrote some fabulous feedback that we've used in case study in our book.
Oh, that's good to hear. I want to finish that. This is where I feel bad. Jean, you haven't sent me yours, have you? Yet? I haven't checked my emails. Okay, good. I'm behind on a few things at the moment, but no, it's. I think like I loved Justin and Sue's book, and so I got to a point where it's like it wasn't about your book anymore, because I was like, I don't know, I'm stuck, and so like I'm just stuck there, right? But then again, because it was that being really clear about what you want. If you just want me to proofread, like that's totally different, because that's totally different. But when it was like live, I was like, I'm trying. So,
but even that cat is so helpful, because Justin and I then realized that we're looking at what can we offer, and we've got one going on trial at the moment. It's a guided book experience. Your words, I got stuck. I had another person who said, I got stuck, I got to step 5 and I just went, oh no, and it triggered all this stuff and I got stuck. So we're going to be trialing a few people with you read this bit and you come into the Zoom. We talk about that, we see what, ask us questions, we'll answer questions, we'll do the revving you up for the next bit, we'll give the warnings, flags, and we'll do all that. And that largely came from being aware that a duty of care and a compassion for our readers. We don't put it out there and leave you flounder. And so thank you. Don't underestimate the value of what you did do. And certainly don't feel badly about not completing it on our account, because you've already given us lots. We'd love you to do it for you.
It's on my list.
Well, and again, I think it's important where you're at the moment. And I think where, we've all been. I think Chris, you're there, Chris McLeod, you're there as well at the moment, where you're just in this space where there's not much happening, and the worst thing to do is put pressure on yourself and beat yourself up, and you just got to be where you've got to be.
Yep.
And sometimes achievement and progress is not the answer. Sometimes just being where you are is exactly where you need to be sometimes, and that doesn't mean you spiral, and doesn't mean you're negative. It just means you go, okay, well, I need a period where I just enjoy my life. I enjoy living. I enjoy where I live. I enjoy, not to write every day. I enjoy not pushing it to try and get published. I enjoy, and I think we all have times like
Mhm.
that. Where
Yeah.
we just need to be able to go, just need to give myself a breather.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think one of the things I'd add I would take from this group, because I've had some good book recommendations from this book, from this group, and I am finding that reading and writing out there, believe it or not, they're interconnected. So reading again is been inspiring me a little bit more. Not that it's like, oh, exactly pen on paper, but I'm just enjoying that. So if anyone has any books that they're like, hey, this book is good, it does not have to be like about a specific thing. Like I'm open to book recommendations, and library apps, the best. Which is this one? 15. It's little, Justin. 15 conscious leaderships.
Yeah.
The 15 commitments of conscious leadership.
Okay, hold on. I'm screen grabbing.
I can.
And could I jump in there too, as the old English teacher can't help herself? When you are reading, of course, read for enjoyment, but also read as a writer. When you're reading and you think, oh, how did he or she do that? And then look at it closely, because I know when I was writing, I'm thinking, how do I get from there to there? How do I put that across? And if you're reading and you keep your little notebook close by and you get a solution to something that you've been working on and thinking about, or anticipate down the track, I might need to know that, then take a little record. It's a great thing.
I like it. It's going in the library app now.
Good. There you go. You've got book of the month. You've got till next month to read it. You do a book report.
Nah, too much pressure. It may not even be in the library app. Come on.
Good point. Good point.
I've got a book recommendation if you want. Yeah, it's a book called Clarity, and it's by a guy called Jamie Smart. It's a book that I give to many of my clients that I work in, in a coaching environment with, and I think I think it's a great book. But yeah, that's a recommendation from me.
Awesome, thank you.
Good. What else we got? All right, why don't we go back to Sue's question earlier on? And the question was, how was about trying to find or identify groups and audiences to target for talks. Is that right?
Yep. And I do recall John Marr in this group talking about Probus, and I haven't investigated that. I guess, is that a professional service group, or I'm not sure. Anyway,
it's a bit people that are over 55 or whatever. It's like a community. It's like Lions Club or Rotary, or it's more along those lines,
or something like that.
Are those sort of groups could be of interest? I'm thinking, perhaps, not sure, depending, of course, on what your book is about and who your target audience. But he spoke of that.
Here we go. Let me just. Okay, so this is it's Probus. So provides exciting opportunity to meet retirees.
Retirees, yep.
So if you're semi-retired, you can join Probus. So they're retirees by the looks of things. So if that's your target market.
Well, it is one possible market. Our book, we believe in developing your personal manifesto, hits people at transition points. And that's one transition point into retirement. So it's possible. Yeah.
Well, then Rotary is obviously another.
Yep.
Rotary. I mean, I think you're talking about it. You're thinking now of all the groups that are sort of heading into transition, right? So you're probably looking at senior high school students. You're probably looking potentially at students heading out into the workforce.
Yep.
You're probably looking at potentially young adults that are maybe heading into marriage and parenthood.
Yep.
Yeah, you're looking
Couples, could be couples. There's another one. Yep.
couples. Yeah, absolutely. So look, I don't know, guys. I mean, there's probably the sky's the limit here.
It
So
sounds like it. Yeah.
it's just being creative with thoughts and ideas, and just rather than focusing on everything.
Yeah.
I would initially start focusing on one or two areas. Kat, were you going to say something?
Yeah, libraries and councils often they're often looking for authors to give talks and stuff. And I mean, you could even, if you do something like that and then see, you could have it on paper or have a QR code people can scan and do it, and get them to do a 2-minute survey for you on, like, get some demographics out of them, like, who are they? Was it useful? Like, just just say, like, you guys are new to it, and so you're doing this one free one, but your request is that they just let you know if it was useful and, like, answer a quick survey. And then from there you would have a base data to be able to go and start looking at, if it tends to be retirees that find it really useful. I mean, they're also maybe the ones going to free events, but you can trial out a little bit of things and try to correct for some of your data bias, and then test from there. But you can always run a couple as a test thing and see if it works, and, like, just be quite honest with it, is like, do you approve this group that we just did this for? Was it actually useful? And if they, like, someone there might be like the one that's like, who you should talk to, blah. And that blah will be the miracle worker. But might as well start low key, test software, build little, destroy fast, fail fast. That's what we try. So.
I do think you got to be vulnerable. I think you got to be courageous. You're going to ask, we want it. You can't just have fan mail. Sadly. Okay, thank you, Kat.
Okay. Chris, you do a fair bit of talking. Where do you get a lot of your speaking gigs?
What, me?
Yeah.
That's interesting, that is. I mean, where do do you know what? I'm not sure where it comes. I mean, a lot of it is in the medical arena, where I'm speaking to doctors in the lifestyle arena. I've just got a gig we've got a large construction company making alterations to an arterial road near us, and I've just got a gig to give 3 health and well-being talks to different shifts on there. So yeah, I mean, some of it comes through LinkedIn. Most of it is recommendations for me. Most of it's recommendations.
So you get out there, Chris, and you do one, and they may speak to someone else, and your word of mouth goes round like that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a bit surreal for me, really, because this gig I've got to do for this construction company. I've got to tailor make a PowerPoint presentation. And I've never done anything like that. I am typically a plug and play guy. I turn up and I never say the same thing twice.
Yep.
So it's a bit of a surreal experience for me at the moment. Whoa, so
yeah. Thank you. That's interesting that you never say the same thing twice. One of the recommendations in this group at one point along the way was, if you're lacking in confidence or want to build your confidence with speaking, join Toastmasters, which I did. I went off and joined Toastmasters. And my challenge this month is to try to do what you just said to do, Chris, is to move away from the script, move away from the lectern, and speak to them. I'm going in on Thursday night with no notes. I'm going to pick up the lectern and move it to one side, and I'm going to tell them a few stories. Now, I've done the background of teaching, so the lectern, the notes, the lesson plan, my security, and I want to develop what you just chucked away and said, no, I never say the same thing twice. I saw that as a hugely good thing, mate. I wish I could be so free and relaxed with talks. As Justin knows, I'll prepare my stuff right down to the last word. And I'm trying to move away from that. Because I think, Chris, often the conversational style, just what we're doing here and now, is far more inviting and engaging for people to listen to than someone reading to them a prepared speech or memorizing it and getting halfway through and having a look at their notes and work out where they're going next. It doesn't exactly get across authenticity and confidence, does it?
No.
You're passionate about what you're talking about, aren't you, Sue?
Yeah. Have you noticed that, Chris?
Yeah, but you are, aren't you? And if you go and deliver that talk with passion,
yeah,
it speaks volumes. You know,
right.
I mean, obviously, I'm talking about my story.
Yeah.
You know, I know my story, but
yeah,
if you deliver it with passion, you grab your audience. You know, and because I think you get what I mean.
Yeah,
you're
I
gonna
do.
smash it, though. You're gonna smash it.
Oh, you're great, mate. Thanks so much. I'll let you know how I go next month.
Please let me know. Yeah.
Yeah, I think when you have, I think you limit yourself with when you try and script it. I think you shift you go into your head too much rather than speak from your heart.
I like that. Yeah.
And I know any time that I've had notes or tried to follow a script, it's never gone as well. I've got to the end of it and I thought, well, I may have delivered the information, but did I touch anyone? Did I move?
Yes.
And honestly, they don't know what you didn't say, what you planned to say, but you forgot. They don't know. All that. And again, it's not about the words. It's, you know, you've heard it before. It's not the words you say, it's the music you play. It's not about what you say, it's how you say it. And you know your stuff, right? Like we know our stuff. We don't need to script it and write it and rehearse it. You just got to go out and look at that audience and go, I'm going to inspire these people today. I'm going to move them today. And then you actually read the room a little bit more and you see the energy and you see it and you can feed it. So I mean, I did a talk last week, the week before, and it was one of the hardest talks I did have done in a long time because I had to get it into 10 minutes. Like it couldn't be more than 10 minutes. And that's hard. I don't know, tried to do a talk and keep it under 10 minutes, particularly when you've got, you know what you want to say. And so I had to, I had to rehearse it and I had to practice it. And it didn't go as well as I would have hoped. I mean, the feedback was good and, but you know within yourself when something's good. And for me, it was, I don't feel like I really engaged the audience. I don't feel like, because in my head, I'm thinking, well, what's next? What do I have to say next? And so, I think, to be a great speaker, you got to forget about, having to have everything perfect and be eloquent and, say it beautifully. It doesn't matter. You've just got to just deep feel it and talk from your heart. I think that's the key to it. I mean, you need some structure for sure. But
can I share this as well, Andrew? Sorry, I feel like I'm talking now. It's a bit of advice that I was given years ago when I started out coaching career, if you like, and the trainer after me 3 years of training, the trainer said to me, look, remember when that person comes into your room, you are the expert in the room. Right? And I carry that into any talk that even the sort of the arena that I'm in where I'm talking to doctors about health, but I am the expert because I'm talking about me.
And you've got lived experience. Doctors have got theory.
Yeah.
And the same applies to your writing as well. And I know we're talking about speaking, and I know there's still people here that are not at that stage yet, and I know Jean, you will want to be at some point, sure. But same with your writing. You don't have to be Shakespeare. You don't have to be. Again, right with feeling, right, get into the emotion, because again, a book, like a talk, is you're taking someone on a journey with you, and they've got to feel the highs, the lows. You know, when you hear a good speaker or you read a good book, you're in tears, or you watch a tears, right? You know it's a good experience when you're bawling your eyes out, right? Like, you know, that's, or you're laughing until your cheeks hurt. That's the key to this whole process, is not how well you articulate. It's not how much information you pass on. It's just not. People don't need information. They need inspiration. Yeah. Information's everywhere. So in your whole journey of writing and speaking and blogging and podcasting and coaching and mentoring, just remember that, you know, it's about so much more about moving people to do what they know they should be doing anyway. Really.
That's right.
I mean, what self-help stuff is stuff no one's ever heard before? What nutrition, what, you know, vision building, what, I mean, we all know this stuff. Like, and if you don't Google it, and there's a million different resources out there. What we're trying to do is move people into action, right? Isn't that what we're trying to do? Every one of us trying to do something different in their life. That's what we're trying to do. So remove that need to highly educate and give them all the information, and just give them enough, but give them a reason to do it, to actually utilize it and apply it.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much, everyone. And it just reminds me of the words of Maya Angelou, the American writer. And she said, at the end of the day, it's not, they won't remember the words you said so much, but they'll remember how you made them feel.
Always.
Remember how you made them feel. So thank you. That's a great reminder.
That's good. That is good. Anyone else got any thoughts, ideas, questions? Well, that being the case, we might finish up a little bit early, hey? No point us sitting here, I mean, and just twiddling our thumbs. That's not good for anyone. Because I can see you're all inspired to write and make phone calls and send out emails and
give talks.
Get talks and get back into action. I can see it. Look at you all. Or do nothing at all. Whatever works for you, right? So great being with you again, guys. Thanks everyone for sharing, and for what you did and what you do, and for what you give to everyone. So thank you all, and yeah, I'll see you all over the next few weeks, and we'll be back here again in 4 weeks. 4 weeks now. Just all I want you to just make sure you check, particularly those not impacted by, well, we're all going to be impacted by daylight savings, but between now and the next one, I don't think.
When's the next one?
I don't. The next one, well, 4 weeks, so it'll be the 9th. Yeah, actually, I think.
So this one will be after Australia.
Yeah, so it means, so Kat, it'll only be 2 hours time difference, so this will be an hour later for you. And I think there'll be 2 hours time difference now with the UK. And I don't know, do you have daylight savings at the moment, Jean?
It'll be 1 hour difference for me.
When does yours?
Because the UK.
Oh, because you're.
No. I've just
go
with the UK. No.
Okay. All right. So it'll be, but it would just check, just make sure you know the time, because there'll be some changes over the next. Yeah. So just be aware of that. But yeah, then it'll be the 9th of April. All right, beautiful people. Good to see you all.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.